I'm Eleni from Breakthrough with Eleni, and today I have a really cool little trick. It's a little bit different than some of my other videos, but I have a really cool trick for if your child has nightmares or anxiety. You can even use this for yourself if you have a nightmare. So I am the queen of taking away my son's nightmares. And it's really simple, and I just adapt timeline therapy, which I use with my clients for my son, and you can do it very simply. So what I do is I get him to close his eyes and picture the nightmare. And then I get him to float up above himself so that he's looking down on the nightmare happening. And he can imagine that. And then I ask him to tell me what that little boy in the nightmare needs to know to be brave and strong. And he might say, I am brave, I am strong, I can fight monsters, I don't know, whatever comes up, right? All the really, really empowering things that he can learn about himself. And kids can do that really easily, right? You can even prompt them to say, if you were to float down in and whisper into your own ear, what would you tell yourself in this situation? And, it's not real, monsters aren't real, I don't know, whatever, right? And then there'll be a point where that fear will go away. Maybe my son used to have a fear of Barney the dinosaur, and he would have nightmares about it. So sometimes when we were doing the exercise, Barney would shrink, right? So what I would do if that wasn't happening is ask them to imagine whatever the scary thing was, shrinking down to the size of an ant, and then they flick it away, right? And then when they open their eyes, that fear, that nightmare is actually gone. It's really, really cool. And then they feel empowered because they've actually created a situation in their brain, created a neural pattern that allows them to fight their fear in their head and change the outcome and become empowered, be in control, right? So you can even do that for yourself if you have a recurring nightmare or something like that. It is super easy. You don't have to go through, I take my clients through a whole visualization and script to do timeline therapy, which works amazingly. But when you're in a pinch and you want a quick little trick, you have an upset little one, and they're having nightmares and they're feeling out of control because, I think kids, as they start to grow up and change, there's a lot of scary things around that their brain can make into these big things. My son used to also be afraid of skeletons, which I feel is probably the least scary monster because it's just bones, but whatever. We would do that with them. So any kind of nightmare, any kind of fear, rational fear, they have that they can be in control is the key. And then another thing that I do with little ones is that before he would go to sleep, I would tell him to put on, and I think I stole this from my friend Eleni, who's also an amazing practitioner, to put on a superhero cape, but it's protective cape, right? So it's made of metal or whatever they want to make it out of, and it protects them from everything, and everything bounces off of it, right? Kids love that type of visualization. So try that with your child, and no more nightmares.